What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. Oh yeah, it's Friday. TGIF. End of the day. Got me another load of insulation. Like always. Not always, but most of the time. This goes to Bristol, Pennsylvania, Monday morning. So we preloaded, got parked for the weekend. Now we're about to have a good weekend, get our minds right for Monday. But that's not why I'm making this video. The reason I'm making this video is for the trailer. So I have now had this trailer for a year. It is a year and 2 weeks since I've put this thing on the road. So I figured I'd do a year review of the trailer. And of course, I had to get her washed up and everything, get the truck washed up, just cause I couldn't do my folks at Diamond C like that and review a dirty trailer. So we got her washed up before I picked up my load. But anyway, for those of you who do not know or have never watched my channel before, this trailer is a Diamond C SDX216. It is a 2021, it's a 2020. I didn't get it until later just because COVID, all that good stuff. But first, I will go over everything that I have on this trailer as far as the equipment that I chose, and then I will go over the things that I have done to this trailer, and then I will wrap it up with a final review of how I feel about this trailer. So like I said before, it is a Diamond C step deck SDX216. so it has two 16,000-pound axles right here, and it is a 53-foot. So I have a 10-foot top deck and a 43-foot bottom deck. That is the way that Diamond C decided to make their decks. You get up in the semi-trailers and things like that. You have a whole bunch of different lengths as far as top decks and bottom decks. But I personally like the 10-foot top and 43-foot bottom. It works great with, for what I do and with my customers. As far as things that I have that, the standard equipment that I have on here, when I spec'd this thing out, I did the basic things. I didn't want too much stuff, because the more stuff you have, for me, I believe, the more stuff you have, that's the more stuff you have to worry about going wrong. So I like things that are basic. So the only things that I upgraded was basically the brakes and the suspension. It does have the air ride suspension. Now it has the older air ride suspension. They do not use this ride well suspension anymore. They use a crush air ride system now. So I have the older air ride system, but still works good. Well, not even good, it works great. So it has the air ride with the front lift axle that is controlled by this knob right here. Push in to lift it, pull out to drop it. And then I upgraded the brakes to electric over hydraulic. Now they are electric over hydraulic drum, just because when I ordered this trailer, Lippert, this has the 16,000-pound Lippert axles, and when I ordered this trailer, Lippert had not came out with disc brakes yet. So this has the electric over hydraulic drum brakes. That is pretty much the only things I added, other than these two toolboxes right here. The third one is what keeps your, has your batteries and your hydraulic pump for your brakes, but I added these two to carry my chains, my binders, my straps, all that good stuff. So that is pretty much the basics of this trailer. Things that I have added are a few things, nothing necessarily for, what's the word I'm looking for? I did it to make it my life a little bit easier. I have an older truck, 86 Pete, 359. So the way some things work on the older electrical systems in the truck, I had to kind of re-engineer to make it work for my truck. So the first thing that I added actually to this trailer was I got the coupler cut off and a kingpin added. So when you buy this trailer, when I bought the trailer, it was meant for a pickup truck, and then I got the semi, so I didn't need the coupler. The reason was because the coupler itself, you know, set about that tall, you know, so it had the trailer riding nose high. So in order to level the trailer out, I got the coupler cut off. I took it to Fayette Trailers up in Pennsylvania, got their Diamond C dealer and a fabricator, great people to work with. Took it up there, they cut the coupler off and added just a regular semi kingpin. But now from Diamond C, you can get that added from the factory, so you don't have to go through that. We weren't exactly sure of ride height and things when I ordered it and was going back and forth with my dealer. So ultimately I ended up having to cut the coupler off and put just a regular kingpin on. Everything worked out fine. The other thing that I added was caution beacons to the rear of the trailer. Just not beacons, but just one, because when I ordered it, it only came with one, so I had to add one. I didn't have to, but I didn't like just one, so I wanted two, so I had that added by Fayette Trailers as well when they were doing the kingpin. The other thing that I added is beforehand, the trailer, you know, since it was made as a gooseneck, it had a 7-blade RV plug, 7-blade style RV plug. Now, of course, being in a semi, you have a 7-pole plug, which is different. They operate just a little bit different. For the most part, they're the same, but a couple things differ, like brakes. You know, there's no brake light circuit per se in the 7-pole, so that's why when you hit your brakes, like when you're hauling a gooseneck, that's why when you hit your brakes, your turn signals on the side of your trailer light up. That's one of the main differences. So in order to change that so that I didn't have to run, at first I ran a 7-blade. You know, I just had it hooked. I'll show y'all. Get under here. I had it hooked under here behind the trailer. And then I used this right here, which is basically, you know, a charger, just a 2-wire, you know, something like you would see on a snow plow or a winch or something like that to power that. I used that so that I could run directly to the truck batteries, back to the trailer batteries, to keep them charged at all times, because the way that my truck was charging, just through that little wire that went to the 7-blade, wasn't enough to really keep them charged. So I added that to keep those batteries charged. So that's where my 7-blade plugged into. But then, you know, since I have a semi, every once in a while I'll get underneath an actual semi trailer, so I needed, you know, a 7-pole as well. So in order to keep myself from having too many lines in the back of here, I decided to convert this to a 7-pole. So what I did is, there is a converter right up here. There we go. Didn't know if I could get the light, but so it is called a bright light wiring converter. So basically what that does is that converts your 7-blade to your 7-pole. So what I did is I put that wiring converter in there and wired it directly, you know, to the 7-pole plug on the trailer, and I cut the hose out for the 7-pole, and that way now I can just run a regular 7-pole from the semi to this trailer. So now I only have one 7-pole, no 7-blade, no nothing. So one wire, one cable for whatever trailer I'm hooked up to. Unless, of course, I got to hook up to another gooseneck, which I don't see myself doing anytime soon. But if I do, I can always go back to that 7-blade that's back there. And then with the 2-wire cable that I ran from my battery, I basically disconnected the wires back there and ran them to here, which is just a lift gate plug, basically, essentially is what it is. And it's just a two wire. So that runs from the truck batteries now runs to the trailer, just like the other one, just a little bit of a cleaner look. So I didn't have a wire, you know, up here in the front of the trailer and then wires running to the back of the trailer. So it's just a little bit of a cleaner look for me, and works fantastic. They keep my batteries charged. 7-pole makes it easy. I don't have to add a bunch of wires. The only other thing that I've added to this trailer is just basically for my aesthetics, you know, cosmetic, and that's just, you know, white Peterbilt mud flaps. And I added them behind both axles instead of one. It just came with one set of mud flaps behind the rear axle that said Fleet Guard. I changed those. No offense to Fleet Guard, I just like white mud flaps. One thing I did change, that's what I forgot. These mud flaps were held on by chains, and with the chains, when I went to these mud flaps with the mud flap weights, it allowed those mud flaps to swing a whole lot. So what I did is I ended up taking those chains off and just welding some angle iron up there to attach both sets of mud flaps. I actually had it swing up and get hung up on my my airbag, and it actually popped my airbag, so that's what made me change that to some angle iron so they didn't swing as much. But that's pretty much all I've done to the trailer. So now for my unbiased, honest review. You know, I know everybody has their own preference. It's just like pickup trucks, you know, Ford, Dodge, Ram, Chevy, you know, whatever you want to say is the best truck. Same goes for trailers, in the semi world and the hotshot world. You know, you got Diamond C, PJ, Big Tex, you know, Gator Made, all those type of trailers. I've pulled a majority of the bigger names, you know, PJ and Diamond C being the main two. I've done, I pulled a Gator Made once, somebody else's, and I pulled a couple Big Texas that were somebody else's. I've never owned neither one of them. But as far as my honest review of this trailer, I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. This thing right here is so well built. I have guys who have full-blown tandem axle semis ask me about this trailer because they like the idea of this trailer. You know, I haven't had any issues with it over the last year, other than things that I had to do myself to make my life easier. The only issue I really had was the mud flap. That, you know, those things happen. You just find a better way to do it. Now, if it had the regular mud flap on there, it wouldn't have done it, you know. So that's the only issue I had, and it's no fault of Diamond C's. You know, I haven't had any electrical issues. I haven't had any braking issues. You know, I know every manufacturer is going to have their issues. You know, some more than others. Some people may have the same exact trailer and have issues, whereas I don't. But for me personally speaking, this thing has by far earned its keep. I have nothing bad to say about it. My powder coating has lasted, I mean, it's held up. The only thing that's coming off the powder coating is, you know, the like the pinstriping, and that's just from forklifts bumping up and, you know, bumping onto the rubber. That's the only thing. You know, other than that, powder coating has been great. The wood on the deck has stayed straight. You know, I haven't had anything bow, anything like that. Of course, you know, wood is wood. That's really not a manufacturer thing. But I mean, it goes to say that they use some pretty good wood, wouldn't you say? You know, and as far as structural goes, you know, this trailer is light. I mean, I went through a bunch of research once I ordered this trailer and then bought this truck. I was going to cancel my order for this trailer and buy a regular semi trailer. But me personally, I don't like, I'm not gonna say I don't like, I'm not a big fan of aluminum trailers. Just because they're great, they're light, they work, but as they get older, they get harder and harder to repair, whereas steel isn't as hard to repair. Wood is easily replaceable. So I wanted a steel trailer with a wooden deck, and Diamond C offered that at a fraction of the price as what some of these semi trailers wanted. And also the weight. So, you know, I'm running a single axle, so I'm not able to gross a full 80,000 pounds. Now, even if most of the time I haul light, but if I need to haul a little bit heavier, of course, I want the biggest payload possible that I can put on my trailer. And having this Diamond C allows me to do so because it is so light. You know, some of the bigger manufacturers of semi-trailers that I looked at, their trailers were, you know, 14,000 pounds, you know, for a steel or a combo trailer. This thing, my SDX, with all my equipment on it, is barely 11,000 pounds. So that engineered beam definitely cuts down on the weight of the trailer. You know, and as far as the engineering of this trailer, I mean, it pulls straight. It even has, I don't know if you guys can tell, I don't know if I can get back far enough. Let's see. You might not be able to tell, but because I'm kind of on an incline. But this thing has an arch in it, just like a regular semi-trailer does. You know, it has an arch to balance out when it's heavily loaded, so it doesn't end up sagging. I found that it's taken almost 17,000 pounds to take that arch out of that trailer. I mean, it's a pretty stout arch. You know, this trailer is very well built, and of course, it's on the same concept. You know, the engineered beam is the same across all their fleet necks, all their trailers. So, you know, very stout trailer. You know, I get complimented on this trailer probably, I don't know, 4 times a week at least. You know, people are asking me about it, and that's people who are in the hotshot world and in the semi world. And so that's one thing that, you know, that I love about this trailer, is because it's so versatile. You know, you can pull this thing with a pickup truck, or if you want to, you can pull it with a semi. It's going to do, you know, the same job, and it'll do it well. You know, I have not, of course, I don't really haul that heavy, so I haven't like tested the actual limits of how heavy I could get it, but I'm not going to. And anybody who owns a trailer shouldn't either, because that's your equipment. You know, you don't want to overload your equipment and then cause more problems than you actually need. The heaviest load I've had on this trailer was about 27,000 pounds, which is approaching the max. You know, you can get about 30,000 pounds on there if it's loaded right. You know, and that's about all you can get on it with the trailer weight plus the GVW. This is a 40,000 GVW trailer. Yeah, I did get the upgraded package to the 40,000. I guess I should have said that in the beginning. But 27,000 pounds, this thing didn't sag, this thing didn't flinch, and I mean, I didn't even know it was back there, to be honest with you. It rode great. The air ride system, I mean, the truck rides rougher than what the trailer does, I will tell you that much. So yeah, that's pretty much my honest opinion of it, man. If y'all are thinking about going out and getting a Diamond C, but you're not sure, you know, you're kind of skeptical, you don't know if you want to pull the trigger, go ahead and do it. I'm telling you, it will be the best investment of your life or of your business. I mean, I can't say enough about this trailer. I can't say enough about the people at Diamond C. You know, I've called, I've emailed, I've asked questions about things to help my life, you know, when I was doing the conversions and stuff like that. And they've always been super helpful, whether it's, you know, somebody in production or somebody in engineering, whatever. They've always been super helpful. I've never had a single complaint, so hats off to Diamond C. But that's about it, man. That's my year review of this trailer. Looking forward to many more years of this trailer, and I'm sure it's going to last many more years, because that's how well this thing is built. So I'm gonna get out here, have me a good weekend. Hope y'all do the same. Spend time with your loved ones, your family, your friends, all that good stuff. The weather's breaking, it's beautiful outside. Get you some fresh air and some sunshine and all that good stuff. Get your mind right for Monday, and as always, stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.